today we are going to learn a topic of on the topic of discount and taxes. So discount is reduction in the price the shopkeeper or businesses offer when you are buying something. So let us take, you go to a shopping mall and you will assume that you buy some an article of 700 rupees and the shopkeeper offers you a discount of 30%. So 30% is the discount he offers. Now what should be the price you're going to pay? So first, what we'll do, we'll find 30% of this. So 30% of the article is 30 divided by 100 times 700. So cut the zeros. So 7 times 3 is 21. So 210 is the discount he is going to give. So on this 700 you have to subtract this 210 to pay the final price. So the final price you pay is, so 700 minus 210, so which gets you 490 rupees. So this is the discount which is this is the price which you have to pay to the shopkeeper. So this is one way of solving. Another way of solving is the final amount which you have to pay is the original price into 1 minus discount by 100. So the rate of discount by 100. So principal is equal to, so the principal is your 700. So 1 minus the rate of discount is 30%. So 30 divided by 100. So you end up getting, solve this LCM, denominator of 1 is 1. So the LCM becomes 100. So for this to become 100, you multiply with 100. So 100 minus 30. So you get 700 into 70 by 100. So cut the zeros. So 7 times 7 is 49. And this 1 0 will come. So the amount is rupees 490. Okay. So this is the same way of doing. So always this is easier to get the answer. So let us consider one more example. Let us take an article of 1500 rupees, 1500, and discount of, let us take 40%. 40% is the discount. Now how do you solve it? So again, let us use the second method. So the final amount you have to pay is 1500 into 1 minus 40 divided by 100. So cut LCM, first solve this. So 1500, so 100 minus 40 whole thing divided by 100. So you end up getting 1500 into 60 divided by 100. So cut these zeros. So 15 times 6 is 90 and one more zero. So the final amount you have to pay is rupees 900 rupees you have to pay. So this is how you find the amount when there is a discount. Now next topic is taxes. So this is the amount we have to pay, and when you buy something there is another big brother called GST. So GST, let us take a 12% of GST on our things. Now GST is the tax which is on top of this amount. So how do we find the GST in GST taxes? So in paying taxes, the final amount will be this original price. The taxes is additional, so you have to add here. So 1 plus the tax by the 100. So this will be 490 into 1 plus 12 divided by 100. So this becomes 490 into 112 divided by 100. So 1 0 gets cancelled. So use your calculator. So the final amount you have to pay is 548.8 rupees. So this is how you have to pay, find out the tax. So tax is always adding to the original one. You can also do find the tax of 12% and add to the original principal. That also you can do, but this is always the easiest way to find. So the same way for this we'll find out. So at 900, for rupees 900 at 12% tax, what is the final price you have to pay? So the final amount you have to pay is, so 900 into 1 plus 12 divided by 100. So again, so 900 into 100 plus 12 divided by 100. So 900 into 112 divided by 100. Cut the zeros. So 9 times 112. So this final price you have to pay is 10008. So this is the final amount you have to pay after considering the taxes. So taxes is always addition. So this is how you find discount and taxes. Now let's move on to the next topic called simple interest and compound interest. Now I have a question for you. Assume that there is a zombie apocalypse, or zombie, first person becomes zombie. Now this guy goes and bites another person. Two people he can bite in 1 hour. He goes and bites two people in 1 hour. Now these two people go and bite other two people. So total four people are zombies now. Now the population of the earth is 7 billion. How much time does it take for the entire population to become zombies? So as considering that there is no space in between, so each one can go and bite other two people in 1 hour. So how much time will it take for the entire population to become zombies? So that is the question. So does it come in simple interest or compound interest? Let's figure it out. So first let's learn what is simple interest. The simple interest is additional cost you have to pay whenever you take a loan. Whenever you deposit a money, the bank also will pay you certain amount of additional because of the use of the money which you are paying. Now suppose you have deposited 10,000 rupees in your bank. This is called a principal. Now bank says they will provide you a rate of interest of 8%. This is per annum. Every year, for every year they'll give you 8%. Now, and you agree to this and you say I'll keep the money for 3 years. So I keep the money for 3 years. So what is the final money you get? So first let us find the interest. So interest would be the amount into you know the formula, which is P into T into R by 100. P into the rate into the time divide by 100. Now I am taking the rate as 8. So this would be 10,000 into 8 into 3 divided by 100. So cut the zeros. Now 8 into 3 is 24. 2400 is the interest which you have to pay. Now the final amount would be this interest plus the 10,000. So you have to pay 12,400. So the final amount is 12,400. So here the difference between simple interest and compound interest is you are not paying interest on the interest, whereas in compound interest you will be paying interest on the interest. So let's learn how that happens. Let us take a simple example of 10,000 rupees, the rate of interest. This is the principal. The rate of interest, I'll take it to be 10%. And the amount, the time is, let us take a simple example of 3 years. Okay. Now, what happens in the first year? First year, the principal into the time, I'll do it this way. So first year, how much money should you pay? 10,000 into 10% into 1. I'm taking 1 year. After 1 year I'm considering, so into 1 divided by 100. So you should be paying 1,000 rupees addition after 1 year, which is the 10%, at 10%. So this money, the total amount will become 10,000 plus the 1,000, so which is 11,000 rupees after 1 year. Now for the second year, we are going to consider this 11,000 as your amount. So 11,000 will become your principal. On this you have to find out the interest and add it to the original principal. Add it to this. So 11,000 into 10 into 1 divided by 1,000 divided by 100. So this will become 1100. So this is your interest. The interest for the second year is this much. The final amount will be the original one plus this. So you have this plus this will get you 12100. So 11,000, sorry, 12,100 is the final amount after 2 years. So after 3 years, your interest for the third year would be 10% of this money divided by 100. So when you simplify this, 1210. So when you add this to this money, so after third year the amount will be 13,310 rupees. So the same thing can be explained. So the difference was here you are paying the interest on the interest. Earlier you are finding interest only on the principal, whereas in compound interest you are finding the interest on the principal as well. So the same thing can be showed like this. So the amount after 1 year is principal into 1 plus the rate of interest. So this is how you used to find out in discount and taxes. So you're adding. So this is how you find the first interest. So for the second year, so for year 2, this thing, so p into 1 plus r by 100 times again 1 plus r by 100 for second year. Similarly for third year, so p into 1 plus r by 100 times 1 plus r by 100, this whole thing, this was just this, times 1 plus r by 100. So this is for third year. So when you're finding out n number of times, so the amount becomes principal into 1 plus r by 100. So n number of times, instead of writing this, you'll write power n, where your p is your principal, r is the rate, and n is the number of times it is compounding, or number of years of compounding. In some books, instead of n they write t, instead of r they write I. So don't get confused if it is like this, where the n is the number of years. Now sometimes generally the compounding is annually. If the compounding is not annually, it is more than one times, something like biannually. So what do you do in this case? So if it is compounding biannually, so principal will be 1 plus r, the rate will be divided by 2, and the number of years, because it is getting 2 times compounding, so 2 times n. If it is quarterly, if the compounding is quarterly, so a into r by 4 and whole thing by this. So if it is compounding 12 times, so this, if instead of 4 we'll write 12 and 4 12. If it is compounding 365 days, so it multiply with 365, and this will multiply with 365. So this is how you will be doing the compounding interest. Now let's come to this example of yours, or let's take one example. The same example, if the same example we are doing by the formula, so 10,000 is your principal, the rate was 10%, and the number of years was 3. So according to the formula, the amount would be 10,000 into 1 plus rate was 10% divided by 100, whole thing to the power 3. So if you do this, 10,000 into 1 plus 10 by 100, whole thing to the power 3. So we would get you amount is equal to 13310. So this is the easier way of doing the compound interest. So we'll stick to this formula. Now in a condition where after 1 year, everything is getting double. So if it is 2, this becomes 4, the 4 becomes 8. So what is the percentage increase? So percentage increase is the difference divided by the original. So difference is 2 divided by the original, which is 2. So 2 by 2 into 100. So the rate of return is 100%. So if it is becoming double, that means 100% return rate is 100%. So in our original case of zombies, this was getting doubled. The original principal is 1, so 1% started, and the rate is 100%, getting doubled every hour. So every hour it is getting double, right? So let's figure out what happens. So amount, final number of people, which is 7 billion. We have to cover 7 billion. So 7 billion is equal to 1 into 1 plus 100 divided by 100, whole thing to the power number of them, number of hours, n is the number of hours in this case. So this is 1 plus this is 1 plus 1, which is 2. So 2 to the power n, 1 into anything is the same thing. So 2 to the power n is equal to 7 billion. So how do you find n here? So in this case, let's do by trial and error. So if you try n is equal to 10, try n is equal to 20, n is equal to 30, you will come closer to this value. N is equal to 32 will be 4 billion, n is equal to 33 will be 8 billion. So somewhere in between, in 32 and half hours, the entire planet can become zombies. So this is how the compounding interest affects our real life, or it has many application in life. So learn compound interest very well. Okay, happy learning. Have a good day.